Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pastor Bruce. Welcome to amvoice.net, One Man's Voice. Today is June 26, 2018. Let me tell you, I'm filled with hate and anger. And I'm trying to fight it with love because I'm sick and tired of loudmouth racists like Maxine Waters out there spewing hate, trying to be divisive and destroy the unity of this country because she wants socialism here. She wants to take away the American presidency. She wants to put us under the UN. She wants to open our borders and let our borders be flooded with illegals, with people from all over the world, and they don't care if they're drug dealers or they're rapists or they're sex traffickers. They don't care. All they care about is opening the borders and destroying this country. Thank God we have Donald Trump. For all of you Christians, you know that in learning Christianity and learning about the Jews and what happened over the course of time is that when bad leaders got in there, you had to deal with them until such time as you could put a good leader in. But here we've made the difference. We sat there and said we can do that every 4 years. But people like Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, crybaby Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, the ignorant, illiterate, unsociable, liberal actors and actresses that are out there spewing hate people. They want to join forces in this country. They want us to be one nation, and they're doing it through hate. Socialism is created by hate. Communism is created by hate. Totalitarianism is created by hate, but a democratic republic is created by love, harmony, and unity. And they want to destroy that because, as I've been telling people, China, Japan, England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Russia, and for any other country that's been out there that's been there since the BCs, nations that have grown up and fought one another to become powerful nations, that have been around a lot longer than the American people. And yet, in less than 250 years, the American people became the greatest nation in this world. Why? Because we live under several very important rules. There is a God above us who sits there and watches everything we do. And we, one day, will have to answer to him. Loudmouth racists like Maxine Waters, she doesn't believe in a God. If she did, she wouldn't be saying what she's saying. Same with Jesse Jackson and Albert Sharpton, who call themselves reverends. We're out there spewing hate and racism. And you have, on the other side of the coin, you have the Muslim leader, Farrakhan, in this country, who in this country spews hate about Jews and whites and wants to see Jews and whites killed. And who supports Maxine Waters? Farrakhan. And who supports Farrakhan? Maxine Waters. They don't want peace and harmony and love. They want socialism. They want to maintain control of the people. Now there's the Hillary's America, I believe is the name of the video, where Sanji is his name. I just heard it once a long time ago, where it talks about how they want to make America equal to a plantation where everybody except for those in the house live as slaves in America. Maxine Waters is in the house, isn't she? She's not going to live as a slave, but she will make every American citizen out there a slave to do her beck and call. That's what we need to stop. And it's time, people. It's time to say enough is enough. When good people just go out to eat dinner and are harassed because they're sitting there trying to enjoy a nice meal, and understand this is very important. The collusion with the Russians didn't work. Everything that the Democrats have been throwing at the White House and President Trump hasn't been working. Now President Trump enforces a law that was created by who? Clinton. And who was enforced by Bush and by Obama, and nothing was said. But now he's enforcing it. Zero policy. You want zero policy in your high schools and in your schools. You want zero policies in malls. You want zero policies in airplanes. Then you better have zero policy on the borders. You can't have it both ways. Attack the American people. You don't like the fact that children are being ripped, and I hate that term, ripped from the arms of their parents. They're taken from their parents. But in America, we see where women have had their children literally ripped from their arms. Does anybody remember that poor little Cuban boy who they sent here to America to get away, and his father wanted him back, Gonzalez, I think his name was? And the FBI, under Bill Clinton, the FBI raided the house in the early morning hours and ripped this kid out of the arms of his relatives to send him back to Cuba. Do you remember that? And do you sit there and say, we're doing that? No. They're being treated a lot more humanely. And it's time to sit there and say, we have zero tolerance. Get out of our country. You don't belong here. We have had enough of you coming up here with your lies saying, oh, I want to have peace and harmony and come into your country. No. This is a ploy. And it was the last ploy that was used by the Communist Party, which were also known as the Social Democrats during the Bolshevik Revolution. Infiltrate the country with a bunch of foreigners to ruin the infrastructure of the country and to create problems with inside the country. And, you know, when you sit and watch all of these protests go up, you know that it's not created by individuals getting upset and going out there. It's created by organizations that say, we have to fight this. And because they can't find anything else against Trump, now they're using this. In about 2 weeks, they're going to try to find something else, and they're going to use that. They're trying to take Trump out. They're trying to destroy the democracy that we live in. And you foolish, ignorant, stupid, uneducated, illiterate Democrats who sit there and listen to your leaders, and you believe that it to be true, that the Democrats are the better party, and they're not, and they haven't been. Was I a Democrat at one time? Yes. Who else was Democrats? Oh, Donald Trump was a Democrat. Who else? Ronald Reagan was a Democrat. And if you look at a lot of smart, intelligent people on the Republican side, they were Democrats at one time. And they understood the hatred that the Democrats are spewing out there to try to destroy this country. And you foolish, ignorant millennials who think you've got an education and who've been dumbed down by those same people, you think you're right, and they're wrong. We need to fight back. Enough is enough. We need to go out to protest these restaurants that allow their customers to be harassed. We need to protest. We need to sit there and shut down the Red Hen or whatever that restaurant is that Sanders went into. You know, I don't agree with a lot of what the left says, but I'm not out there sitting there attacking the left for it. They have their right to speak out. This is hate, people. This is hate. And I thought we created hate laws. People should be arrested for the hate that they're showing. But they're not. Maxine Waters should be arrested. She should be impeached and kicked out of office because she doesn't deserve to be there. This owner, that's hate. She's sitting there. She's going to lose $50, $60, maybe even more. Plus, the waiters and the waitresses are going to lose their tips. But she doesn't care because her political attitude is we don't want Republicans. And that's discrimination. That is discrimination. You may not like me to be a Republican. You may not like what I have to say. Tough. Get over it. Get a life. Because I do. I could care less what you have to say. But now I'm saying we're going to fight back. I'm saying it's time that we started taking up arms. First, verbal. Go out there and protest these businesses and shut them down so that they can't use it. Think about this. A cake maker doesn't want to make a cake for a homosexual, and he's got that right. Just do that. But an owner, she has the right to kick somebody out just because of their political beliefs? Who are the Nazis? It's not the Republicans. It's the Nazis on the left. It's Maxine Waters who's a Nazi, who's using Nazi tactics. It's the crybaby Chuck Schumer using Nazi tactics. It's the Democratic Party using Nazi tactics to try to destroy this country. And they have groups like Antifa. And if you don't open your eyes and understand the truth, they also have the KKK that are out there supporting them, trying to destroy this country. Wake up, people. Wake up. It's time for Maxine Waters to be kicked out of Congress. She doesn't deserve to be there. She's a hateful woman. She wants to be a socialist. Let her quit Congress, move back to the state of California, and live in her multi-million-dollar home in the state of California, which is now a socialist state. And let her live her life out there, but not create problems for the American people. It's time we fight back. And if we can't unite as a people and protest these businesses that are showing hate towards the American people, then we also have to sit there and make the change in Congress, and we have to get the majority of Republicans in Congress so we can start passing laws. And then maybe with the majority, they'll sit there and take on the Democratic Party and say it's time for you people to go to jail for what you've done. The hate speech, the hate that you've created. It's time that we buckle down with people like Antifa and the KKK and other hate groups that are out there trying to destroy this country. I mean, I sat there and I watched, and if you watch it real close, there's a little teacher who sits there, and just before she starts hitting on this guy, there are cops standing over to the left. And this woman sits there and she starts pounding on this guy's chest. And were the cops getting involved? She should have been arrested. That's assault. He did nothing to her. It's assault. And she got away with it. And when she pushed him back into a crowd and a couple of guys started to get on top of him, that's when the cops got involved. The cops should have gotten involved when that woman hit. It's time to sit there and say enough is enough. It's time for you to vote Republican and put Republicans in the office. And if we can't win, then it's time for us to take up arms. If they want a revolution in this country, it is time for us to have that revolution. It is time for us to destroy. And I'm saying this to all American military people, past and present. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. And we should be treated equally. The Democrats don't want to do that. Remember your oath to protect and defend the Constitution of this country from foreign and domestic enemies. And here's your domestic enemies. Farrakhan, Maxine Waters, the Clintons, Obama, crybaby Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi are the enemies to the American way of life, to the democracy that we live in. And anyone in Congress that is spewing out, open the borders, because we don't care about the American people. Ladies and gentlemen, 2018, if the Democrats win the House, they're going to go and try to impeach the President of the United States over what? Okay? Everything that they've brought up has been a joke. It's been hilarious. And after they get rid of Trump, they're going to go after the vice president, who now becomes the president. And then they're going to go after the Speaker of the House. And then they're going to sit there and say, well, yeah, we're going to put a Democrat in. That's socialism. That's communism. Destroy the government, put your own people in. It's time for the American people. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. It's time for you to see the truth and stop what the Democratic Party is trying to do. This is Pastor Bruce. Thank you for listening. God bless and take care.